I promised myself I wasn't going to be loud, but then, do you know what? I get so excited because I get to talk to you guys and we get to have a look at updates as well this week. And we've got an amazing story this morning talking about God's protection over us and how he protects his people. So we're going to kick off straight away with, John, have we got the laptop sound on, yeah? Awesome. We're going to kick off straight away with Bethel Kids News and Updates. Da 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 da. Yeah! We've got a little audio thing on there now. Yay! Awesome. So, we've got some cool updates this morning, but the first one isn't one of you guys. It's actually a dad. And this may start a new segment, I don't know, of you guys telling us what your dads are getting up to. And I'm probably dropping myself in this because, you know, I'm a dad myself, and I will probably get pictures sent in of me doing embarrassing things. But we have the first picture, and that is of Yuri, who is trying out his best skateboarding skills. This is incredible, but this photo was taken just before this photo. Look at the look of concentration on that face. That is brilliant. That is trying not to fall over there. So the Urine Chats have spent a lot of time cycling and roller skating and skateboarding in the McDonald's car park in Lanishan, because the McDonald's is closed at the moment. So it means that the car park is free and it's empty. So it's a good spot for them to try out some roller skating and some cycling. Excellent skills there. I'm loving the roller skating there, Lucy. Fantastic. And the whole lazy boy arm there, Sammy. Like very, very cool. Very cool little cycling there. Next up, we've got the Pottses. This is a lovely photo they took of some daisies in a field. It's really cool. So they've gone for a walk, and Andrash and David ended up swimming in the river as well. Very cool. As you can see, they've gone for a walk there. And they also have gone, oh wow, look at the stack that Anako's made there. That's really cool. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever done that where you've stacked up the rocks to be a big pile and then you can take a photo and it looks like it should fall over but it doesn't fall over? Very, very cool. And we can see that's a really nice photo there of you guys. This is Andrash and Daniel. Very, very cool. And, oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at those ruins. John, how cool are those ruins? They're amazing. Look at the stone or the rock. And oh, wow. I hope he didn't fall there. That's really cool. Standing on top of a cross. So this is a cross. So they went to a ruins of a castle and saw a cross where Wesley preached once. Wow, this is actually the cross. The cross bit is gone, but this is with the base, and there used to be a cross like kind of up above them. That's really cool. And next we've got the Lawsons. So as you can see, they've been making some wooded dens. They've been exploring more. They've been getting out and about. That's really cool. I love the river. Did you do skimming? Tell us how many skims you managed if you did skimming on the river. That's really cool. They also managed to escape to the beach. They went down to the beach, as you can see. Ruben's got his lovely hat on. That's really cool. Love it. Ah, look at that. Lovely, gorgeous family. Ava, I love your faces. That's brilliant. Ruben, every photo I've got of you has got your tongue sticking out. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely love it. See? Tongue sticking out. Guys, you are gorgeous, and I'm loving the fact that you're having so much fun. You ate some ice cream down at the beach. Oh, and your caterpillars have arrived. Now, we're going to have to do a segment, Caterpillar Watch. If you've got caterpillars at home that are going to grow into butterflies, you'll have to send us updates as to how they're doing and what they're looking like at the moment as they like kind of crawl along the thing and then climb up and then become chrysalises and stuff like that. Very, very cool process. Awesome to see the beauty that they come into at the end. So yeah, you'll have to send us pictures of updates of that. Next, we've got the Vernons. They've been going out for a walk. And Olivia's been doing more baking. Erin made a tennis court in the garden. And also, Erin had a fantastic school report, which I believe resulted in a McDonald's meal. Haha! Very, very cool. It's nice to get back to McDonald's in a way. We're not sponsored by McDonald's at all, though. We could be. I'm sure John would be up for that. Yeah, thumbs up from John. Erin, these brownies look incredible. My front door is available if you want to drop some off for taste testing. That would be awesome. Yeah, and John's got thumbs up as well. Donald's up for some taste testing. Awesome, thank you very much. And Erin, this is Erin's tennis courts as well in the back garden. Very, very cool, Erin. Next up, we've got the Pickleses. So this is Elsie in a tree. Awesome. And Miriam driving a car. Very, very cool. Miriam, have you passed your license yet? I'm not sure. You look really, really concentrated, like you're wondering why your dad's standing in front of you with a camera. Cool. And next up, now prepare yourself for this. This is a lovely photo of Elsie, and it reminds me of Audrey Hepburn. How gorgeous are you looking, Elsie? Fantastic. You look very, very pretty. Well done. And your sister is currently climbing and probably causing your mum to have a small heart attack because she's climbing up what looks like very, very high. That is so cool. Well done, Miriam. You're going to be climbing way above everybody else very soon. Awesome. This is the Barker's update. This is my update. So this week, Halloween went back to school for a day. And this is us going on our way to the school. Eli with his tongue out as well. I don't know if it's just boys at maybe 3-4 years old that they just stick their tongues out all the time. But it happens and it's cool. It's lush. I love it. Is it Eli investigating? He got his magnifying glass and we've been investigating things. Very cool. We found some duckies up at the canal again. So these are the ducklings that we went to see a few weeks ago, and they've kind of grown a little bit more. It might be a new set of ducklings because there were some teenager ducks there as well, and they do tend to grow quite quickly. But they're very, very cute. If you go up to the canal on the Glamorganshire Canal pathway, you might get to see some ducklings when you're up there. It's a lovely ducky that managed to spread its wings while we were up there as well, and Halloween really loved the purpley colour, so it was great. We also, the family came to the church earlier in the week just to help me do some of the worship earlier. So Georgie was with me as well, and she came and lay down on the rug next to me, which is absolutely gorgeous. It was lovely to have Georgie here and give her a little tickle and a stroke. She's a lovely doggy, really enthusiastic, and just loves worship as well, which is great. The kids went with Mummy to Lidl to give Daddy a little bit of time to sort out some work. So they went with Mummy to Lidl and they stood in the queue, which was great. And this was them standing in the queue, making a big palaver of it, which is awesome. Eli helped us film some of the segment this morning, so you'll see later on with the story that we do, Eli helped us film. And this was them going to Morrison's as well. And as you can see, Eli, tongue out, totally COVID safe, absolutely great. Love my kids. This is the Vaughns, sorry. This is the Vaughns, reunited with the sea. So they went down to the beach to have some time at the beach. Absolutely beautiful there. Look at the sunset. Lovely. And Caleb, absolutely lovely look on the face because your mum's giving you some love. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And they spent some time in their bubble. So the Vaughns and the Vaughan Davises are in a family bubble together, so they were able to meet up, which is lovely for cousins to be able to meet like this. And as you can see, they had a lovely time in the wooded area, which is awesome. And some more pictures of by the beach and some more family pictures as well. Guys, it's so nice to see you and it's so nice to see your smiles as well and all the adventures you get up to. It's really, really cool. And some time in the paddling pool as well, some paddling pool fun. Very, very cool. I'm loving the giant inflatable llama as well. Very, very cool. And learning, for school, learning about Victorian filters. Caleb, you'll have to tell us a bit more about these. Like, what were you filtering? Did you drink the water afterwards? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So, that is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for sending in your updates and your pictures. I absolutely loved seeing them, and I loved catching up with you all. It's so, so cool. So, this morning, we're doing our sealer, and there's a lovely song that if you've got the handout online, you can sing along with that song. It's The Lord Is My Rock. Parents, I apologise, it's very repetitive, but you'll enjoy it anyway because it's good message. The Lord is my rock. So this morning, we've got this cool story. So, can you remember a time when you needed protecting? Maybe when you're riding your bike, you might wear a helmet. I don't know. I hope you wear a helmet because it's a good idea to wear your helmet when you're riding your bike. Maybe when you're going in the car, you wear a seatbelt, don't you? You go clink, click, and then you're safe for the trip then, don't you? What goes off, right, this is the question, what goes off in your house if some toast gets burnt? It's the smoke detector, yeah? It protects us. And so we understand that we need protection when we're in danger. God, as we discover in the Bible, protects his people. We see examples of it all the way through the Bible. We see Daniel when he's in the lion's den, he's protected by God. We see Noah and his family, they're protected by God. Rahab in Jericho in the walls, she's protected by God. The disciples in the boat in the storm, they're protected by God. But wait a minute, Tim, I hear you say. If God protects us, it protects his people, what danger can we be in? So we've got a brilliant story. We've got the story of Moses. And not the story of Moses later on in life when he goes on to do great things. We've got the story of Moses when he's a little baby and he needs protecting. And we're going to have a look at what danger God's people were in at this time. God's people had been enslaved in Egypt. And while they were there as slaves, they had grown into a great nation. And the Pharaoh, who was the leader of Egypt, started to worry that there were too many of them and that they might revolt against him. Pharaoh decided to get rid of God's people. His first attempt was to tell the women who had helped the mums to deliver the babies that if it was a girl, they should let it live, but that if it was a boy, they should kill the baby. These women knew that it was wrong to kill babies, so they let them all live, and they lied to Pharaoh. Then he passed a law that said that if you had a baby boy, you had to throw him into the Nile River.
Exodus 2 says there was a man from the family of Levi, and he married a woman also from the family of Levi. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw how wonderful the baby was, and she hid him for 3 months. But after 3 months, she was not able to hide the baby any longer. So she got a basket made of reeds and covered with tar so that it would float. And she put the baby in the basket. Then she put the basket amongst the tall grass on the edge of the Nile River. The baby's sister stood a short distance away. She wanted to see what would happen to him. Then the daughter of the king of Egypt came to the river. She was going to take a bath. Her servant girls were walking beside the river when she saw a basket in the tall grass. So she sent a slave girl to get it. The king's daughter opened the basket and saw a baby boy, and he was crying. So she felt sorry for him, and she said, "This is one of the Hebrew babies." Then the baby's sister asked the king's daughter, "Would you like me to find a Hebrew woman to nurse the baby for you?" The king's daughter said, "Yes, please." So the girl went and got the baby's own mother. The king's daughter said to the woman, "Take this baby and nurse him for me. I will pay you." So the woman took her baby and nursed him. After the child had grown older, the woman took him to the king's daughter, and she adopted the baby as her own. The king's daughter named him Moses, because she had pulled him out of the water. God protected Moses because he had big plans for Moses' life.
So God's reason for protecting Moses was because God had great plans for Moses' life. God planned to use Moses to rescue his people from slavery in Egypt. Now, God protected another baby, didn't he, for a similar reason. When Jesus was a baby, another ruler, King Herod, would be afraid of losing his power. when he heard of the birth of a king. God warned Joseph through an angel, through a dream, to take Mary and Jesus and go to Egypt to be safe. God protected his son because the time wasn't right for him to die yet. First, he would have to be tempted and remain sinless. He would have to call the people to repent and return to God. And then he would willingly give up his life to pay the price for the sins of all of God's people. The ultimate way that God protects his people is through Jesus dying on the cross. He died in our place. Jesus protected us from death and eternal separation from God by paying the price for our sin. Now, that is amazing protection, isn't it? We're going to listen to a great story this morning. So we've got a lovely story from Poppy and Freddie, and they had a rainy day. Freddie and Poppy are brother and sister, and they live in a lovely little house in a lovely little town with their mum and dad, a rabbit called Fluff, and a dog called Duke. One day, the family were preparing to go on a walk. "It's going to be so much fun," said Poppy. I don't know if we should go now," said Mum. "The weather looks like it's changed." "It's okay, it's only going to rain. It'll be more fun. We can go in all the puddles," said Freddie. "Yes, I suppose so," said Mum. "You can put your new wellies on too." "Don't forget your coats," said Dad. So they busied themselves getting ready to go out in the rain for a puddle jump walk. "I have your new wellies here, Freddie," said Mum. "It's okay, I'm going to wear these ones. They're super comfortable and I like the colour," said Freddie. "Those are your old ones. I'm pretty sure they don't fit you anymore," said Mum. "And they have holes in, Mum," said Poppy. "But I like them. They're my favourite. They're fire engine red," said Freddie. "You will get wet feet," said Dad, coming into the room. "I know, but these ones are just so comfortable," insisted Freddie. "Okay," said Mum. "Everyone ready?" "Ready," they all said together. It was wet outside, but with everyone with their coats and boots on, it was looking like it was going to be a nice walk. They made their way along the path to the woodland, where the trees above would offer some shelter, but there would still be puddles to splash in. Duke was enjoying sniffing around all the puddles and getting extremely wet. "Poppy, Poppy, look at the size of this puddle. It's as big as a lake," said Freddie. "Careful, Freddie, you have holes in your..." But Poppy didn't get to finish the sentence. Freddie had jumped with both feet right into the middle of the puddle. Splash! "Freddie!" yelled Poppy, who was now very wet. "Amazing! That was a huge splash," said Dad. "Freddie, come out of the puddle and say sorry to Poppy, please," said Mum. "Sorry, Poppy," said Freddie as he squelched out of the puddle. The family walked on a bit further and Dad was trying to shepherd Duke away from the bigger puddles. After a while, Freddie began to walk slower and slower. Squelch, 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 squelch. "Freddie, Freddie, look at this puddle," said Poppy. "Oh, yeah," said Freddie, not really paying attention anymore. "What's wrong, Freddie?" asked Mum. "My feet are wet and cold," said Freddie, sheepishly while squelching to catch up with Mum. He knew why his feet were wet and cold. He had chosen to wear his old wellies because they were familiar and his favourite. He knew they had holes in, but he didn't want to listen. "Come here," said Mum. Mum sat Freddie down on a bench and got her bag open. In it was a towel, fresh socks, and his new wellies. Drying his feet and changing his socks with him, Mum said, sometimes we need to let go of old things so that we can have something new, something that will help us and will protect us. Your old boots may be comfortable and your favourite colour, but they had holes in, and you are no longer good wellies. These new ones will become your favourites soon, I'm sure, and they will protect your feet more than the old ones did. I suppose I'll get used to them, said Freddy, looking at the boots. They were blue, but just as he jumped down from the bench, there was a flash of light. The boots had lights in. Whoa, they light up, Poppy. Look at my boots, they light up. And I have dry feet now. They're awesome, said Poppy. Thank you, Mum. I'm sorry, I should have listened to you. You wanted to protect me. Well, my feet anyway. I love my new wellies. Up ahead, there was a massive splash as Duke managed to pull Dad into a puddle. Mum, do you have another towel? Asked Poppy. They all had a good chuckle and then went to help Dad. Even Dad was laughing. They made their way home and after drying off, had some hot chocolate and cookies. It had been a great day. So, this morning, as you can see with Freddie and Poppy, Freddie had the option, didn't he? He had the option of going with his old familiar boots that had holes in, or for going for the protection that his mum was offering him by giving him his new boots. And his new boots were so much better in the end, weren't they? They flashed and they kept his feet nice and wet, and dry. They kept his feet dry, definitely dry. So, we've got a brilliant action this morning. We've got a brilliant craft where you can make, well, hopefully you should have the handout that's online, and these 2 pages at the end will help you make a picture. And we've got a craft video that's going to show us how to make that picture.
Hi guys, welcome to my crafting table. How cool is that? So, this morning we have done the story of Baby Moses. And of course, Baby Moses, we've got a cool little craft to do. So in the handout that you've got, you should be able to get these bits printed off. So these are just your guides, or you can draw them yourself, that's absolutely fine. So we have Baby Moses, and we have one half of his basket, the other half of his basket. We have some rocks as well, and we have the grass, and we have the reeds. Cool. And the other thing that you will need as well is some blue paper, or maybe a clean white piece of paper that you can colour in, and this will show us where the river is. Cool. So for this craft this morning, we're going to need some scissors, we're going to need some glue, we're going to need some blue tack or maybe some modelling clay, we're going to need a sharp pencil and some string. So it doesn't matter what string it is, it could be wool, it could be anything else. But yeah, just need some string. And I think that's it. Apart from that, you're going to need your colours, and yes, that's all the bits you need. Right, so let's clear all this out of the way. Da-da-da-da-da. And then we can start. So the first thing that we want to do is colour these in. So how do we colour them in? We click our fingers, don't we? Well, actually, you at home might have to do the actual colouring in, but I can just click my fingers like this, and there we are, it's done. So as you can see, I've coloured the basket in brown and a little bit of yellow, a little bit of dark brown as well. Baby Moses coloured in as well, and we've got the rocks that are coloured in, and the grass that I've taken the liberty of doing some different green colours to make it a bit different. And of course, if you haven't got a blue sheet of paper, you've got to colour in your river as well, which is quite cool. So the next thing we have to do, and that's the labour intensive bit, is the cutting out. So that's where we take the scissors and we go abracadabra alakazam, and there we are. So we've got all of our stuff cut out, which is really cool. We've got all the bulrushes and the grass and things like that, and we've got the stones, so we can put all of those to one side for the moment, and then we can concentrate on the basket and Baby Moses. Hey Baby Moses, hi. I've given him green eyes, by the way, if you can see there, look, green eyes. So I think he might have had green eyes. So what we want to do is we want to put the basket together back to front like that, so that you can see the two sides. And then, very carefully, we want to take our blue tack ball, we want to put it down on our table, and then put the holes over the top of the blue tack, and then with our sharp pencil with a really super duper sharp point, go through the holes that are along the side of the basket. So you can see there that I've made the hole in the basket there. So let's have a look. So there we have all of our holes punctured along the side. So now we want to take our string and we want to make sure that we've got a nice point on it, like that. And then we're going to thread it through each of the holes. So there we are, once you've stitched all of yours together. Now, I will confess that I did just use a hole punch to punch the holes a little bit bigger because my string was quite thick and wouldn't really go through the holes. So you have a look and see how your boat or your basket is going together, and if you're finding it difficult to poke it through all of the little holes, then maybe make some bigger holes with a hole punch, and maybe you can go through those then. So what we want to do is just tie the string off on the sides. Like so. One. There we are, Baby Moses. Sorry about that. And there's two. There, like that. Cool. So now we've got our cool basket for Baby Moses to go in. Let's put him in the basket, shall we? Oh, there we go. So there is Baby Moses in the basket. Look how cute he is. Awesome. Right, so the next bit is we've got our scene to make. So we've got our blue card here, and we've got some stones. So we want to take our glue, and then we're going to do some glue in. The sticky glue. Let's get some stones on here like that. Along there. So she'd have had to have gone all the way down to the river to drop Baby Moses off. So we can do this there like that, and then we put some reeds in, put some bulrushes as well to go in there, like that. There we go. Shouldn't rush this. Get it? Brushes. I'm here all week. Well, when I need to be. Looking good. And then, awesome thing is, we put a bit of glue on the back of Baby Moses' basket, and we can put him nestled there nicely in the rushes. And there we are. We've got our Baby Moses in the river waiting to be picked up. That's so cool. I love it. And of course, he's waiting there for God's promise to protect him to unfold, which is really cool. Right, I hope you enjoyed this craft and have fun making the basket and weaving it together and thinking about that process of weaving the protection for Baby Moses whilst he's in the river. And I hope you enjoy colouring in as well, and show me what you've done with the rest of it. Show me if you've drawn a river, or if you've done some sand, or maybe some buildings in the background, anything like that you've done. Send us in a picture of what you've done with this craft. Thank you everybody for joining in this craft. Bye bye.
Ta-da! So, you too can have a picture like this at home if you do the craft. I hope you do enjoy it. Obviously, like I said, with the basket, with the weaving, you might need to make the holes a little bit bigger depending on how big your string is. And also send us in pictures of what you've managed to decorate it with, whether you've done anything in the background or what else you've done with it. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Or you might even be able to use actual grass and twigs and things like that to do the rushes, which would be quite cool. It'd be a nice cool nature picture as well. So yeah, have fun with this craft because it's really cool. And it's a nice way of remembering that God protected baby Moses, because babies, as we know, are very fragile and we want to protect them. So yeah, it's lovely to know that this basket was weaved to protect baby Moses, and that also God's protection was on him as well. Very cool. So we're going to finish up today by honouring God. And how do we honour God? We honour God by praying and talking to him, and we learn his word. We learn the verses from the Bible as memory verses, and it's a great way of honouring God. So how do we pray? We pray with our eyes closed and our hands together, and we bow our head to make sure that we don't fidget and that we pay attention to what God's telling us as well as us talking to him. Right. Dear God, thank you for showing your hand of protection on your people throughout the Bible. Thank you for protecting us today from sin and death through Jesus' death in our place on the cross. Thank you for your protection that we can feel day in and day out. Protect us and our family, Lord, as the weeks go by. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Amen. Cool. So our memory verse this week is a psalm. It's a verse from a psalm, and it's Psalm 40:11, and it is, "Do not withhold your mercy from me, O Lord. May your love and your truth always protect me." Do not withhold your mercy from me, O Lord. May your love and your truth always protect me. What a great verse to try and remember that God's love and truth will always protect us. Awesome. Well, I hope you have a great week and you learn your verses and you send in some pictures of the craft that you're up to. That'd be really, really cool. Don't forget Bethel updates as well, so that we know what you get up to during the week, because it's always good to have an update. Right. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.